Oh gosh. Hi.
Hi.
How we doing? I love your slick back.
My pony?
Yeah.
I'm in sport mode.
You're sport mode, the 2 Nike.
Oh yeah, double Niked up.
Just do it twice.
Yeah, I got the Nike shoes, Nike sweatshirt with the double check.
Damn.
This is balling out here.
Did you like my setup for real? To host?
Oh, the living room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Welcome back to Retired Chaos.
we're more chaotic than ever right now.
Yeah, we are. We're all over the place. So hopefully this is not all over the place. Guys, things that should be illegal flopped. Here's the thing. We had so many things on our list and it's just too many. We didn't give you guys enough context. So
You know, you can't win them all.
no, and that's showbiz, baby.
We were just living and learning. But hang with us.
Hang with us. We're finally doing YouTube. Super excited about that.
Yeah, shout out Mars. She's really the girl behind the scenes here.
Thanks.
All of a sudden, I'm busy with work. I can't contribute.
All of a sudden, I can't be there, but I'll be there. Anyways, cheers.
Cheers. I just finished my espresso martini, so now I can move on to wine.
We were both like, oh, we're going to take a nap before this, and we did not.
Yeah, I got a work request at 5 p.m. Add that to the list of things that should be illegal. That part.
All right.
Okay, let's get into it.
So here's the thing. I am hosting Thanksgiving this year, and the holidays are fun, but
Chaotic.
they're chaotic. They come with pros and they come with a lot of cons. My con right now is I live in a 1-bedroom den with my boyfriend, and his entire family is coming, and so we've been trying to rearrange the living room and trying to figure it out.
Sorry to interrupt, but more than mom and dad are coming?
Yes, mom, dad, sister, brother-in-law, and sister's baby.
Oh.
Exactly. And so obviously I will send a video. I will show you guys the room, and you guys can tell me great, no. But I think I set up the 2 couches. So we had a couch outside and we had to bring it in, and tried to make space in the living room, but like open it up to the kitchen island so that it could be, I think it's going to be very cozy once everyone's there, because you have no other choice but to like come together and like talk and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe like, I think Davis loves games. I assume that his family loves them too. So it's a good game setup too. So
Yeah, exactly.
I think it'll be fine. I mean, it's definitely going to work for the time being.
Yeah. And so I'm hosting. That's chaotic. First time ever. So it is definitely nerve-wracking. What about you? Tell me about your Thanksgiving plans. She originally was going to come hang with me and the gang, but
yeah, that was the OG plan. I was begged by family members to go to Oklahoma, but to be honest, flights were just wild. And I mean, it was like $1,000 just to go to Oklahoma City.
Are you serious?
I was gonna fly into Oklahoma City. I mean, round trip, but still, I'm like, sorry, like I'm already going home for Christmas. Like I'm not gonna do both.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was gonna go to Coco and Mars Thanksgiving, but instead, I got invited to boyfriend's Thanksgiving.
Guys, she's got a boyfriend.
She made
and it's getting
it.
serious.
Yeah, this is the first like boyfriend Thanksgiving I've ever done.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, like at their family's house.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
I am very nervous. Well, so I like told my mom, and I texted her. I was like, I'm going to the Johnson Thanksgiving. Like, I made it. And she's calls me immediately, and she's like, what are you bringing his mom? I'm like, oh, hell. But I kind of have already plotted, like,
you do gotta bring the mom a gift.
Yeah, you definitely, if you're going to a Thanksgiving thing, especially like a holiday, especially like at your in-laws or your boyfriend's or your partner's house or whatever, like always need to come with things in your hand.
A gift. You have to bring a gift, especially for mom.
Yes.
Mom is number one that you need to win over.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not bringing anything for his dad, but
I mean, that's kind of like hard. That's like a relationship that kind of flourishes over time.
I think so
Moms are
too.
like, you have to make that first impression with moms quicker.
Yeah.
Because they're like, that's their baby boy,
Yeah, and he's a mama's boy. So,
Yeah.
like, that's his number one. So I'm like, okay, definitely flowers, obviously. Like, that's number one. I think, like, a nice bottle of wine.
Mm-hmm.
She only drinks wine, so that's easy for me. Because I'm like, me too, girl. Well, that's not all I drink, but I love to drink it.
But we love it, so yeah.
I think I'm gonna make like this dairy-free pasta sauce for her too.
Oh,
And just like jar
yeah, she's
it.
super healthy, so
Yeah,
like, that's great.
So,
I think you
gosh,
always
I'm nervy.
wanna. Why are you nervy?
well, it's gonna be
Well,
not
yeah, it's
only
like,
his like immediate family, but his extended family too.
I'm telling you, when it's so many people, a lot of things can go wrong, or not, or it can go great. But like, it's this anxiety of like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, and he's like told me about one of his uncles, and he's like, he'll probably hit on you, like ask for your number. I'm like, God, Uncle Marv, like, come on, Uncle Marv.
Oh fuck! Already starting with the dysfunctional ass shit.
I know, exactly, but I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be good. Like, I got along with everybody at the game, so
Yeah, she went to the Bears game and met his friends.
yeah,
and his dad. See,
yeah.
that's good. Like, you want to bond with when men bond. I think you told me this, or like I read it or something. When men bond, they bond through shared like experiences or activities, and then when women bond, they bond through like emotional conversations and like just in-depth conversations with emotions and things like that involved. So
Luckily I met like his brother and brother-in-law and sister-in-law, so like I'll have a little bit of cushion there. But anyway,
there's a meme that I saw today where it was like, oh, Trump announces his 2024 candidacy, very ill-timed.
Yeah.
Or like, plot twist there. I know what
bro
he's
could not
doing.
have worser timing.
Yeah, he's like, really, right before Thanksgiving, the one holiday that like everyone gets riled up on.
When your Republican uncle's coming to Thanksgiving, like you're gonna announce it right before that.
Oh my God. Thanksgiving is the best holiday. Just the holiday season in general is fun, but it does come with a lot, like we said. So I have so many stories that I couldn't even pick one of just like dysfunctional ass shit that has happened. And I'm sure that anybody listening can relate, like awkwardness, funny shit, or just things that did not need to happen but did. So we have some of those stories too. And then I decided that we were gonna shuffle around through Reddit, and I found some really fucking funny stories. So yeah, we're gonna have our own little stories, and then we're gonna read a Reddit one. Yeah, excited. Welcome back.
Yeah.
So
Mine is more like dynamics of like the holidays with my family.
yeah.
Yours is more like crazy things happen to y'all.
I mean, Emily brings the peace in this, like, we're like the yin and yang. Like, she's chaotic. I think you're chaotic internally, like
Totally.
and I think everybody is to a certain extent, but I'm a very external person, and I think that's why I'm just like a chaotic human being in general.
I'm the complete opposite, but I'm chaotic in my brain for sure. Like,
I feel like everybody is chaotic in their own way, but like, what do you mean by dynamic?
well, like Thanksgiving and Christmas are definitely different. We do like Thanksgiving with my dad's side of the family, and then Christmas with my mom's side of the family. Thanksgiving is always wild. A lot of different personalities. Like we're much different than my dad's side of the family. They all live in like small town Oklahoma. Like there's not shit to do there, but you know, booze and party, to be honest. And so like I fit right in, honestly. I'm like, let's fucking get it. But my dad will be across the way just literally hating life. Like he'll be sitting on the couch in the corner like we're just like, dude, you're such a bummer. Like last year we were there and we were all wasted. Like, you know, my mom loves Fireball.
She's this
freaking Greg
thing.
Like
she's such a Greg.
Greg is obsessed with Fireball. She has passed that trait on to the whole family. Like everybody. Like we'll do nightcaps, but when we go to Oklahoma, you know, wine bags, they get Fireball bags.
Oh.
Yeah. And we literally passed that bitch around all day.
No.
Oh yeah.
Y'all do slap the bag?
Yes,
Fireball
we do.
edition? That is
fucking gross.
That is gross. But sounds like a good time.
Yeah, no, we'll just like do that all day, watch football, of course, and then like at the end of the night, we'll just party. Like we'll put on oldies, like 80s, 90s music, blast that shit, and like we'll just do sing-alongs and like dance. It's fun. But my dad, like when he's ready to go, like last year we were literally in the middle of like a dance party. Like me, my aunt, her friends, my mom, and my mom is having the time of her life. And when my mom is drunk, it's just the silliest, funniest thing, because she thinks that she's sober, and I'm like, my girl, my Greg,
My Greg.
like you're slurring your words, you're slanging and swanging. But she was having such a great time. My dad was ready to go, of course. And he just like turns the music off and like grabs her and is like, okay, we're going.
Oh
And
my
she's
god, that's
like,
so awkward.
it's
like
so
we're all
awkward, but
having...
it's his side of the family, and they're just like, oh my god, Ed.
For context, when I met Ed the first time, I was like, oh, I've heard so much about you. And he kept walking and was like, yeah, and just like went into his office and like literally shut the door, because there was like a brunch that Emily was hosting
was that
at her
the
house.
brunch? Yeah.
And I was like, cool.
Dude, that was the funniest shit ever. My dad never, ever, ever uses the Peloton.
Oh yeah. He was like, I think I'm gonna Peloton.
Oh my god,
today.
he is literally like fully dressed for Peloton and goes upstairs, and me and my mom are crying laughing. We're like, dude has never used a Peloton like in the past 1 year.
That's so funny.
And he like chooses the day that all the girls are over, like, I'm gonna go get on the Peloton.
I'm gonna get a pump in.
Yeah, we're like, okay, guy. Fucking
Brunch downstairs, pump upstairs. Fuck all you.
I remember one time you came over and he was in the office and you were like, hey dad, and he was like, what?
Yeah. I was like, hey dad, what's up? And he was like, too soon. Who are you?
Yeah.
No, but you have to tell me about like the grandma situation.
Okay,
because she's unhinged, and I feel like in the holidays, like she can just be like wilding out.
No, she be wilding out on non-holidays as well. My dad and my mom's parents don't exactly see eye to eye. And by that, I mean, I think my dad can't stand them. But my grandma is one of those people that, like, one, they show up for Christmas and they stay far too long. My poor dad, like, bless his heart. Bless his heart. They come and they drive from Missouri, or they really drive from Michigan to Missouri to Texas. And they literally bring along their whole lives with them. And so when they arrive, it's literally like 6 loads of shit that we have to like unpack into the house. God. And they set it all over the house. Kitchen counters full of shit, like dining room table full of shit. And my dad like never leaves the house, but as soon as they get there, he's like, oh, I gotta go run some errands, or like I'm going to the gym, or he's like calling me from his office and I'm upstairs, like we're both just hiding. He's like, hey, you want to go get some lunch? Like,
Emily's grandma has this like email thread with everybody on it.
oh, that's a different grandma.
Oh, what? Wait.
I was talking about my mom's parents for Christmas, but my dad's mom.
It was unhinged.
She's unhinged.
And I can't imagine her on Christmas.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so my grandma has an email thread that she like sends out to literally every single family member. Like, I'm on the email chain. However, like, she's always talking shit in the email chain, and it's paragraphs on paragraphs. Like, there's a paragraph for each family. But like, not always. Like, some emails are different than others. Like, she'll do one family and one email, and then another family and another email.
Well, she's got to split it up.
Yeah, and she sent out an email like last year. I'm fucking crying at this because it is like such a point of contention in my family right now. But like, anyway, she sends out an email and like leaves us off the email chain.
Like your family.
Yes. And we're all on it, but she specifically leaves us off.
Like your mom, your dad, your brother.
Yeah.
And
oh, I think my dad blocked her. He's like, fuck out of here, Mom.
Please don't, Mom.
But she was like in the email saying, you know, Beth and Ed are so disappointed, and like Teddy and Emily for not getting their MBA. And like, my parents don't care about that shit. Like, there's no way that they ever said that. And someone replied to the email and copied us on it. And so we like saw everything that they said. Oh, I shouldn't be laughing because I'm pretty sure my mom was crying. She was like, I never said that.
Oh.
But it was just funny. Like, and that's what she does. She just literally sends out a mass email to like 30 family members talking shit about everybody.
That's
and
insane.
then it bites her in the ass and she's like, nobody likes me. And it's like, girl, just shut your trap. Damn, I'm sorry, G. I love you, G.
So I can't wait for the moment that I'm like, you know what? I don't give a fuck anymore.
But I'm trying to hear your crazy stories. Like, that's basically just the dynamic of my holiday season. It's just like laughing at my grandparents, laughing at my dad, trying to avoid them.
Yeah, passive aggressive, and then just kind of like,
it is top tier entertainment, I have to say.
because you kind of like know the like side feelings of it all.
Oh yeah, but sometimes I want to be like, shut the fuck up, like, please just leave me
take a
alone.
nap.
Yeah.
I have a couple of like pretty crazy stories, but I think for this topic, it's like all things holiday. And okay, I'm Mexican, very Mexican. Like, my parents we didn't really celebrate Thanksgiving until I was like 13, 14, and then beyond. Because my dad had this friend that he got really close with. It was one of his best friends for a really long time growing up. And this guy's like an ex-Marine, and boy, does he sure tell everybody that he is an ex-Marine.
They do love talking about it.
They do love talking about it, which, you know, hey,
salute.
Salute. Thank you for your service, like, always. But he and I had actually a really good relationship growing up, and they would always invite us to their Thanksgiving, and it was the first time that I had ever felt like a traditional Thanksgiving. We had a really good dynamic, but I had some rebellious years after, you know, once I got into like high school.
You don't say.
Oh God. Lots of crazy things I've done. But one of those times I had thrown a party at my house. My parents were in Mexico. And I was staying at their house, but obviously, like, I told them I was somewhere else, threw a party, got caught ultimately.
Classic.
Yeah. And it was just, that's where our dynamic with them kind of like shifted, because obviously, you know, they had a lot to say about me and the way that I was behaving, and he had a lot to say with like my dad's ability to like parent me and like and like be able to
kind of an overstep now.
A little bit of an overstep, yeah. And so we kind of slowed down on doing Thanksgiving with them, but we still did like New Year's. They threw like a huge party on New Year's every year, and a lot of the people that would come to those parties were my dad's friends. I'm already in college at this point. I'm like a sophomore in college. Like, I've grown up a bit. Like, I can hold my liquor at this point. I'm not being a dick anymore.
I don't know. What about that tequila competition?
Yeah, see, that was afterwards. So at that point, I had learned my lesson. Like, after I tore my ACL, I was like, cool it. Cool it, bitch. Okay. Like, you're a mature ass bitch now. Okay, you're 22 now, for fuck's sake. And I had just started dating this guy, and we go to their house to stop in, because my parents always wanted to do like holidays with me, like especially New Year's. They wanted to always ring in the New Year, but obviously I have plans with my friends. Like, that's all I wanted to do. And so I committed to going before the ball dropped. So I was basically in charge from like my little friend group, including my sister and her now husband was there. So it was like 7 of us, and I was just bringing drinks to the group because I was making the Jack and Cokes and all of them. And they were just like, oh, Mariana, can you go get me like a refill or whatever? I had driven to this party. For the adults, like, what they're saying is, you know, me just bringing drinks and like grabbing drinks and having like 2 hands full like every hour that we're there. Yeah. And mind you, this family friend also has has 2 kids. It's a girl and a guy, and they're a little bit older than us, like 5 years older than us. And the girl is like a hot mess at this point. Like, she also invited like her friends. Like, it's a whole thing. There was like 50 people at this party.
It was a whole event.
It was a whole event. Like, she had
That
her
sounds lit as
friends.
hell.
Yeah, all the time. She had her friends. My parents had their friends. They had their own, like, adult shit going on. She had her stuff. And then, like, all over here, the childhood friends were, like, over here.
Yeah, sure.
So we're drinking. I had maybe 2 drinks. 2 drinks, we'll put it. Definitely not more than that, because I was going to go somewhere else and I had been driving. And so this is the first time I'm introducing my newly, guy that I'm talking to this, like, this place and this event and stuff. Like, this is the first time that he's, like, networked with people, like, in my inner circle. Mm-hmm. So I'm bringing drinks, and time is up for me to go to the next place that we're going to. And I'm like, okay. I start making my rounds. I'm telling my dad, hey, like, I got to go to another place. He's like, are you good? Have you been drinking? Like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yes, I've been drinking. I've had 2 drinks. That's it. Don't worry. I'm fine. Like, obviously, I'm not trying to get hammered for this reason that I can drive back. So I'm saying goodbye to everybody. And my dad's friend, the Marine, is, like, observing that I'm, like, leaving. And I'm saying bye to people and stuff. And he's just kind of like, again, we already have this, like, animosity from, like, old stuff, like, he thinks I'm a shithead at this point. So we're getting up, and now we're, like, starting to leave, and he is, like, in front of everybody, is like, you're not fucking leaving, like, in front of everybody. And I'm like, I have another obligation that I'm going to, like, I need to go. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, you're drunk as fuck. Like, as if I don't see the amount of drinks that you've been passing around and you've been going on. I've seen you go back and forth with the alcohol for, like, 10 rounds. Like, you're drunk as fuck. And I was like, no, I'm not. Like, I had been making drinks for people.
Misread that situation.
Exactly. And I'm like, hey, don't worry. I'm fine. I haven't been drinking. My boyfriend at the time steps in, and he's like, hey, I've only had 1 drink, and I can, drive if that makes you feel better or whatever. And he's, like, in my face.
What the hell?
And I'm like, this is insane. Get the fuck out of my face. Like, at first I was, like, very polite, and I was like, hey, listen, I understand your concern. Like, here's the situation. Here's what happened. And he just didn't give a fuck. Like, did not stop. So I was like, okay, fuck your shit. And I turned around and was like, I'm gonna go. I was like, Dad, I'm like, can you, like, are we good? And he was like, we're good. I walk, and I'm going out the front door, and he's like, I'm not good. Like, he follows me, and, like, at least 30 people are following him also because they love the drama. Dude, it was insane. And he's like, you're not fucking leaving on my watch. It's my responsibility. This is my house. This is the liquor that I served you. Like, I'm going to, like, all this stuff of, like, his responsibility if I get in an accident or something happens.
I understand the liability issue, but, like.
But I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine. He was also, like, an ex-cop. So I'm like, please.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I'm like, please test me. Please, I would love for you to just do that. And then his daughter, who is absolutely trashed at this point, and me and her have some animosity too, because it's like, that's my dad, and you've brought in some issues with, like, my family, like, when we've been trying to help you while you were growing up, like, them thinking that it's their responsibility to also try and parent me growing up and help my parents.
But, like, your parents are there.
With an unimaginable child that they're like, oh, God, they can't handle their own child, so we have to step in and, like.
Oh, God, fucking spare me.
Yeah. And okay, what gets worse? So she's absolutely trashed. So follows me up to the front. At this point, there's 30 people surrounding us, and she's like, you always fucking do this. You always ruin events. Like,
the daughter saying
yes,
this to
she's
you?
yelling at me at the top of her lungs. She's slurring her
Were
fucking
you being
words.
calm as hell?
Yeah, I was super calm at first.
At first.
Well, I actually was calm the entire time, but I'm one of those people where, like, if I don't start, like I either throw bows or I start crying. There's no in between. I'm, like, an extremist. Like, I'm either, like, really, really, like, submissive, or I'm, like, super alpha, and I'll, like.
Yeah.
This time I was submissive because I was like, I'm obviously trying to, like, put on a good face for this.
There's guests. Yeah.
Yeah. And this new guy, like, doesn't know shit about me. Like, I mean, yes, like, we're still, like, dating, like, we're getting to know each other. And he's like,
but, like,
what have I walked into?
Exposing some dirty laundry.
Right. And
from
she's
years ago.
Right. And she's like, you always fucking do this shit. Like, you're not going to disrespect my parents, me, in my house. Like, this is our party. Like, you're like, just starts talking shit. She's like, you're such a waste of space. Like,
what?
That's what she was saying to me.
That's mean as hell.
Super mean. Like, she's wasted. Like, she's wasted. and she tried to fight me. Like, she comes up and like tries to swing, and her dad is like pushing her back, being like, no, you know what, like, she's not our problem anymore, like, she's not a problem anymore. And she's like with her fist up in the air, and I'm like, I was just trying to go to my next commitment.
Yeah, like, I'm not doing the most out here.
Yeah,
like,
long story short, I was like, fuck your shit, look at you. And at first I start like laughing, because I'm like laughing like nervously, and then she starts bringing in like all this stuff from the past of like, you always ruin shit, just like always fucking you know, making everybody's lives hell because you're so selfish, like these kind of things that you're like hitting below the waist. And at first I was like laughing at her. I'm like, you're so sloshed, it's not even funny. Like,
yeah, but then you're like,
but then really I was like,
digging.
oh, you hit it where it hurts. Yeah. And I had no other choice but like, because I couldn't retaliate. I didn't want to retaliate.
Well, you wouldn't disrespect your parents like that.
Exactly. I was representing my parents. I was representing myself. And also at this point, like, I'm trying to get rid of these memories of like me being such a like a shitty kid. Like,
right. Like, I'm trying to be better, and you're over here like bringing me down.
Right. In front of people that like don't know that about me, and like I don't want them to. They don't need to be a part of that. And I just started crying, and aww. The guy that I was with actually like stepped in, was like, this is so fucking fucked up. And he was like, we're leaving, get out. And like, obviously the Marine guy like tried to like stop him, and he was like, this is so fucking disrespectful, do not touch her, we're going. And we just like went, and he was like yelling at us out of his door. That was the end of it. It was for New Year's. Yeah. And then since then, like, the relationship with them has just like dwindled. And then I recently
I will not be praying for them.
I recently saw them about like 8 months ago. They came to our house, and they show up. I go and I say hi to them, and he just walked past me.
Ew.
I said, you're not going to disrespect me in my house. And I did that to him. And my mom was like, mija, no, mija. And I was like, no, mom, rules have changed.
Sweet angel.
I was like, bitch, step outside in my yard and you can get off of my property.
Yeah.
So.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just like thinking, because like we have kind of a same, like similar dynamic with family friends. Like, we have a huge group of friends that we grew up with, like family people, parents, friends, and they would never overstep like that. Like, and if they did, I don't even know what my parents would do.
Well, my dad didn't do anything, because obviously, like, in the moment, like, he doesn't know what to do. Like, all of his friends are there.
I feel like that's kind of your dad's thing, that he's like, I'm just chilling.
Yeah,
like,
my dad's just like, I'm not going to get involved like that unless, like, I absolutely need to. My daughter, you know. But my thing is like, if my father, okay, mind you, I'm 20 fucking 2. Like, yes, that's not like an adult.
No, we're still kids at 22. Let's stop fucking playing with it.
We're going to have a separate topic on that, because really, up until now. But anyways, if my parents are saying like I'm good, that's the only those are the only people that I'm going to respond to. Point blank.
100%.
That's it.
I totally agree with that. Like, if my parents tell me that I'm good, then I'm good. Yeah. And I don't need some person that's not my parent, like, coming at me. No. I mean, I would just be like, Dad.
Dude, yeah.
Well, good that you stayed calm, cool, and collected. Calm, cool, and collected.
Calm, cool, and collected. And I'm thinking, like, okay, sure, I'm dysfunctional, but I can't be the only one. So, obviously, I got onto Reddit. But thread it also. Thread it. Dang. Weave it. Bang.
Thread
bang.
it.
Thread it. Weave it. Bang it. Hey.
That was a bop.
Reddit. Yeah, should I try my luck in music? Dang.
Should we make this into a recording studio?
Reddit has some pretty crazy things on there. So I pulled some up, and some of these are really funny.
Okay, I want to see.
Okay, here we go. Let me grab this little thing so it's not dangling. Okay, I didn't read you one because I was like, I don't want you to see. Here we go. My brother is a recovering alcoholic with bipolar disorder. Bless his heart. 2 Thanksgivings ago, he was back home with his wife at my mom's house. I was in another town at my boyfriend's parents' house. My brother called me and said he wanted to come see me and get away from mom for a while. He showed up at the house already drunk, and told me he had gone into a fist fight with one of his friends from high school. He then set down a loaded 9mm gun on the kitchen table because he was paranoid.
Is this at the boyfriend's house?
Yes, this is at their parents' house.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I told him to put it back in his truck immediately or else he had to leave. He put the gun back. Then I was trying to get him to sober up if he had to drive home. He's had like 3 DUIs, so I threatened him with all the checkpoint setups on the holidays. He then felt it was necessary to show my boyfriend how to punch so that he could defend me if the need arose.
Yeah, that's real as hell.
Like, you go from the gun to like, yo, let's do some fighting lessons, bro. My BF was understandably apprehensive. I would be too. This man is drunk. He just pulled out a pistol and now he wants to play fight. My brother had him hold up a hand so that my brother could punch it to demonstrate. 2 punches later, my brother just socks my boyfriend in the eye. Ended up splitting his eyebrow.
No.
We kicked him out of the house immediately. He started banging on the door, then went to his truck, and then came back to the door. We didn't know if he had gotten his gun or what. So my boyfriend and I had to sneak out the back door through the neighbor's yard. We went 4 blocks away and hid while my brother drove around looking for us. And we waited for my boyfriend's parents to leave and come pick us up. This is like during Christmas.
Wait.
Someone said, sheesh, that's hard to deal with.
Yeah, shout out that comment. That's fucking right.
Like, sheesh, no comment.
Yeah, I'm speechless.
Imagine.
Fighting lessons are killing me.
Imagine if, like, Kevin came over and was like, Teddy, let's play fight. And fucking punched Teddy in the face. And then, to make it worse, Teddy knocked out immediately. Kato.
Oh my god. One, that is too funny to imagine my brother fighting. Sorry, T, but you're not a fighter.
Like, let's just put that out there.
You're a sweet angel. Come on. Yeah, that's definitely concerning behavior. I hope they're not together anymore. Oh, wait. Well, maybe I'm thinking like the boyfriend was doing it, but it was the brother. So where's the brother now?
I don't know. Like, see, that's the thing. Like, I would like to go figure out what's going on over there.
It's like kind of funny, but also like, are you scared for your life?
I hope he's okay.
Yeah,
I hope he's got help.
Whew.
Fucking holiday disasters. Okay, here's another one. When I was about 7 or 8 years old.
Wait, this is so funny.
We went out to the family farm for Thanksgiving. It was a dairy farm, but there were chickens on the loose too. My dad told me it would be okay for me to chase the chickens because there's no way that I could catch one. I was so intent on proving him wrong that I paid no attention to when the chicken, flapping its wings, crossed a large area of muck. I was running at top speed.
Top speed.
Sunk up to my waist before I couldn't move anymore and started sinking up to my neck. What I later found out was that they would hose down the cow shed occasionally, and all the runoff would pull into the large pond of diarrhea. I was screaming for my life, still sinking, and my dad was laughing hysterically on the shore.
That's my fucking dad, dude.
I love the shore.
That's like your dad too.
Like you're on the
just be crying, laughing like this dumbass right here.
This fucking dumbass bitch. Oh my god.
She's
on the
waist
shore
deep in some shit.
on the shore at a farm.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because there's like
On the
waves
shore.
of diarrhea also. Like, it has a fucking goddamn current.
Wait, I did not register that the first time I read it.
It's a goddamn current.
Reddit.
Reddit. I was screaming for my life, still sinking. Eventually, my aunt put on the hip waters and dragged me out before I drowned in cow diarrhea and hosed me off by the barn. I'm 28 years old now, and this story is still told at every family dinner ever.
Oh, man. That is traumatizing.
That is traumatizing, to say the least.
I wonder if she's gone back to that barn or that ranch or whatever you may call it.
Animal,
Farm?
like farm animals are fucking crazy.
I think that might be the most traumatic thing that could happen. Like, neck deep in diarrhea. Are you fucking kidding me?
Cow diarrhea. Cow poop.
You know that shit sloshy. I'm so sorry. Why do I say these things?
I mean, like, that's a great visual, but disgusting.
No, I didn't want the visual. I didn't want it.
Well,
and
you
I don't
gave
want
it-
it for myself, and I don't want it for you either.
Well, it's in here. Right in here.
Can't unsee that shit.
Can't unsee it.
Oh my gosh. I mean, definitely nothing that crazy has happened to me, but
Holidays are supposed to be a time of joy
yeah.
and gratefulness and spending time with family and getting closer. My advice is, like, if your peace is disturbed, it's so important to set boundaries, like, no matter what. Like, I don't think that people should feel guilty for putting that boundary and saying, hey, I'm not coming home for Thanksgiving. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
you
same.
are under no obligation to go and hang out with your family if they fucking give you stress.
Yeah, and I mean, as we grow up, like, there are different dynamics that you have to adjust to. And I think it's totally fair for someone my age to do Thanksgiving with, you know, their partner's family, especially when I live across the country.
Right.
Like, don't give me shit for having a life.
Yeah. And it is hard because I posted it on my Instagram the other day where it's like the statistics of the amount of time spent with family dwindles as you go.
I saw that too.
And it is really sad because it's like, obviously in an ideal world, you want to be able to spend this time with them and you want to spend as much time as you can possibly with your mom, your dad, or whoever it is that is in your life that you consider family as much as possible because, you know, time goes on. And then once that time is gone, you don't have that time anymore.
Yeah.
And you do feel, well, you feel this guilt, but at the same time, it's like, is it
you
fair?
find a balance.
Yeah, you have to
find a balance. I think you're totally right. Like, I definitely was like thinking that way when I was like, am I not going to go to Thanksgiving? Am I going to go? Like, you know, but I'm like, okay, I have to be selfish for something. Like, I don't visit as much as I should, but like, I have a life too.
I think we have to change the narrative of like, oh, I should do something or I need to do something. And it's more of like, I don't visit as much as I would want to. And I do want more. But at the same time, it's understanding what's best for myself.
Yeah.
You know, what's best for my mental health, what's best for my like long-term, you know, happiness. Yeah. And if going and seeing your family and dealing with maybe some of the chaotic things that come with it fulfills you, then by all means, like, do it, right? Everything in life is a sacrifice one way or another. You're gonna have to suffer one way or another.
Yeah. And if you are privileged enough to have a family that doesn't stress you and doesn't bring this chaos to you, like, more power to you. But there are times where you're just like, dude, I don't want to deal with that. Like, yeah. And that's fine. It's like, fine. You can choose that. You're an adult. You can do literally whatever you want.
Yep.
Isn't that so crazy? Boundaries. You could just literally do whatever you want.
Yeah, I had a cookie for breakfast the other day, and I was like, I'm an adult.
Saying there are no rules for breakfast.
No. I think a really good tip that works really well in my family when things are spoken about that, like, you know, necessarily I don't agree with or my sister doesn't agree with. My sister loves to say, her go-to is, I love you and I respect you. And that's all she says.
Anita is wise. And
she's wise.
She's kind of like Coco. Like, I feel like she doesn't say a lot, but when she speaks, it is of high value.
Yes, it is. Always protect your peace during the holidays.
Yeah. Do what's right for you.
Yeah. And never feel guilty about anything, and change the idea of needing to do something, should, need to, want.
Yeah. And if, you know, you're in a position where you're spending holidays with in-laws or your boyfriends or partners, families, like, it's okay to start new traditions. Mm-hmm. That's totally fair, and enjoy it, embrace it, be positive about it. You know, change is good, and
change is good, but with change you have to invite chaos every time.
Invite it, embrace it, live through it.
I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it made you laugh. I hope it made you smile. I hope it maybe made you a little sad, but then it got better.
We're going to start dropping more wisdom on y'all, because we are wise. It's not all fun and games.
It's not all fun and games around here.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, and I may be illiterate, but I got some shit to say.
Illiterate?
A little bit. I mean, I sometimes don't pronounce things very way. Samoan aloha.
Aloha. All right, aloha
I am reading more books, I will say. I've started reading more books for that.
Okay,
I'll let you go.
Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, I will.
Okay,
anyways,
we out.
Thanks for hanging out with us. This is Retired Chaos. Bye.